Hey guys, alright, this is how you install the LED light strips with the 3D printed brackets. So real quick, this is the 1/12 Losi NASCAR. So we're replacing this bracket here with the LED bracket, which is going to be this piece here. Alright, so let's just go over real quick on how to do this, just so you guys get a quick understanding on this. It's pretty straightforward. Alright, you're just going to take these two screws out here. Once these two screws come out, this Nerf bar pops right off. I'm sure if you're an RC car fan, you are probably very familiar with this. Okay, so for the bracket, this is a test bracket. Okay, this isn't made out of the one that the stuff that you're going to get. The new one has a little bit wider bars on it for a little more reinforcement. Okay, these are some zip tie straps if you want to use them. This is where your LED light is going to go in. Okay, and then obviously these are where your screw holes are going to be. Okay, so these bars go up and over and in, and then these screws just go right in here. Screwdriver here. I like to get them started first, and then once you get them started, you can screw them down. Okay, give them a little snug. You don't have to kill it, but you also don't want them to fall out. Okay. So that's the installation of the bracket. Super simple, right? All right, now let's get into how to put the LED light in. Right? So before you do this, okay, I just wanted to show you guys that on how it's supposed to sit in there. Okay, so let's put the car aside for a second. So you're gonna have a few pieces. Okay, you're gonna have the cover, something like this, metal cover, plastic shield. Okay, your two stock screws. So this is pretty much your kit. Now in here, I already popped in the nuts for these bolts. Okay, for these hex bolts. So pretty much what's going to happen is you're going to drop this clear piece in first. Okay, because that's going to protect your LED lights if anything kicks up into them. Okay, then you're going to put this bracket. Okay, that gives it a little bit of distance here. And then you are going to, now there's a little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little notch right here. You got to make sure that notch is facing this notch here in the bracket. Okay, this is all here, and you want that notch facing up. Okay, so clear piece, metal bracket, notch facing up. Okay, LED light goes on top, and you'll feel it slide right in. Okay, now at this point, I like to slide at least one bolt up, and that should now look like this. All right, you take the second one, find this hole back here, and this is going to fit in like that. Okay, so now you see you got these two bolts. Okay, now this clamp is going to be facing the outside. Okay, this kind of just goes over it, just like this. Okay, now if you have these pressed in already, they should be pretty easy to go in. All right, you might have to wiggle them around. They're pretty snug fit. Okay, now you'll see that now you have this here. Okay, now you're just going to put your finger on the back here and then find that spot, wiggle it around a little bit. If you can't get it through, you can take this back off. Sometimes the LED light doesn't line up right. It gets kind of wedged in sideways. So you can, like I said, go back, reline it up. Okay, and then like I said, this cover just pops over. I'm not doing a very good job with the camera here. line it back up. And that's it. Once it gets lined up, it gets caught. It pops right into here. This is all nice and flush. And this is all nice and flush down here. And then the second one's usually a lot easier. It's that first one that always gives you the little bit of a problem. Now you get this, you kind of wiggle this one in, and you'll see if you get it all the way in, it'll push that nut. You push that nut right back down. Okay, go here. You don't have to kill these. Some people like putting a little washer nut, okay, which isn't a bad idea, on the inside here, okay, because these things flex. So if the kit comes with a whole bunch of washers, you could put a washer right in between the plastic plate and the bracket, okay, and that'll kind of reinforce it. And if you want, you could try and put one on this side if you want. I don't think you need to, but if you really want to, you know, be super sturdy with everything, you can. But we've never really had any of these pop out. If they do, you're getting hit pretty hard. They're gonna rip out. They're not gonna pop out. So once you have this piece set, you're gonna do exactly what we did before. You're gonna come in here. You're gonna pop these in. Okay. This one's always a tight one here. All right, so that's good on that one. Okay, now I already have the full kit in this one. The full kit has the controller. Okay, now this controller pops right into here. There, you really don't even need any sticky tape, but you probably should put sticky tape, but you don't need it. The way you clip it in is you just hook it in like this and then just push down and it just clips right in. I mean, literally you can pick the whole car up. And okay, now you got the little button right here. Okay, that's your manual selector. Okay, on this particular car, this has the stock ESC, which means it doesn't have a second or third channel. But if I did, say I had an aftermarket one or an upgraded one that's not stock, I could control it from the remote. Okay, you could set up that third channel, you know, on your controller, and you could actually use the third channel by, you know, if it's a button or a tick, whatever, whichever one you have, and it pretty much mimics this switch here, and you can change and select through your colors, your patterns, all that stuff. All right, then this is the T-bar. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this. This T-bar runs almost the entire length of the middle here, so you can strap your wires to it. Okay, this is pressure fit. Okay, so this just pops into this existing screw hole. Okay, so this way you don't have to do any modifications. There's no screws needed. You just line it up, slide it in. Once it's in, you just push it down a little bit and you'll feel it get snug. You don't have to kill it. All right, just lay it right in. Once you get all that, you can get your all your wiring set up. Okay, you know, zip tie however you want. Now, I did shorten my wires up and resoldered them a little bit. You know, you can do whatever you want. I put the rail here so that you can bunch the wires up neatly and zip tie everything. You know, originally we didn't do that, but now we did. So now it makes the, you know, the wiring a lot easier. So once you plug all your stuff in, okay, you're gonna have two leads coming from the, actually, you know what, let me set this up here so you guys can see this. Okay, so you have this controller right here. Okay, the controller, you have the in coming from the ESC. Okay, that comes from here into a splitter. Okay, I have a three-way splitter since this is a stock controller. Okay, and I use the transponder. So this comes in, goes to the transponder, goes to the controller, and it also goes to my fan. Okay, so that's why I'm using this. Now on a, obviously, like I said, on a one that has multiple channels, you won't need that. And that doesn't come in the kit. You'd have to, you know, because we don't know what you guys have, but that would be the that would be an alternative if you need it. If you're running a stock Losi NASCAR and you put one of these systems in, you're gonna need at least a Y splitter, if not into 3. Okay, so aside from that, you strap all your wires in, you connect it, it comes back to here, the wires come back. Now you have your connection to your LED light here that we installed, and you have your other LED light that we installed here. Okay, once you get everything in, plug it in before you go, you know, zipping everything down and doing all that. I would set the controller, bolt these in, plug everything in. I don't have a battery in here. Let me grab a battery. You're going to plug your battery in, okay, and then test, okay. This is the on-off relocator. You can switch this on, and you'll get your light patterns. You could switch these to whatever color you want. You can scan through, and like I said, get to your patterns, and this is all done manually with this red button on the stock versions, okay, like stock versions of the Losi. Like I said, if you have that aftermarket or that upgraded ECS that has a, or the receiver that has an extra channel, I keep saying ECS, that receiver that has that extra channel, okay, you can control the selector and the colors from that channel. All right, but other than that, you guys should be good. All right, you got the bars, the covers, the controller stand, the T-bar, okay, and you'll have a whole bunch of wires and stuff that come with the kit. All right, if you guys got any questions, just reach out to us.